On the spot, at the spot.
The spot, SoDo.
With the big homie Nick.
We at the spot.
SoDo.
We at the spot, SoDo.
Spot SoDo.
On the spot, at the spot, SoDo, Seattle.
Man, pull out your blunt, grab your drink, get your notepad. Cause it's a lot of game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, we on the spot at the spot, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, we got a great fucking show for you today, man. On the real, man. I know we say that every fucking time and shit, but we really do, man. On the real. So look, sometimes, you know what? I'm gonna introduce him. You know, we got a blackpreneur. You know what I'm saying? Game spitter, genius, graphic designer, own businessman, politicking in this motherfucking entertainment industry. You know what I mean? We got motherfucking, man, Cross Your Heart, Hope to Die, man, Mr. Ant, ready to hit it and bring it alive.
Facts. Thank you, brother. I appreciate being here. You know what I'm saying? Kendra, here with the big homie over here, Big Nick, you know what I'm saying?
That's love, bro.
I appreciate the intro, bro.
It's
I ain't
love,
gonna
man.
lie, man. Like I said again, you know, I just think that it's time for everybody to start, you know, being accountable, man, trying to take on what we supposed to be taking on. You know what I'm saying? We got so many gifts out here in the world, and it's time for us to try to stand up. You know, like we was just talking earlier about, you know, how people will doubt you, and they'll come in here and they got their own vision, but their own vision ain't your vision. You know what I'm saying?
Man, come on,
So when
man.
you saw that, you got mad, but you laughed at the same time because you looked at him, you was like, man, you don't have no idea.
Well, nah, man, you know, I was like, man, you want me to tell you my exact words to him?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure you've been thrown out of better stories than this one, my nigga, but you gonna get the fuck up out of here. Like I said, but
like
I'm sure
that.
you've been thrown out of better stores.
Yeah.
Probably Nordstrom and some more shit, but fuck you.
But you ain't thrown out of this one. This the best one, though.
Man,
You
bitch
feel
ass
me?
motherfucker. He been calling the cold part. He been hitting.
See?
Been hitting.
But that's the problem I
and
can't
I will not
understand.
answer it. I won't answer it.
Man,
I turned Hollywood on him.
See what I'm saying? But see, that's the problem. And I told my wife, and I tell all my homeboys, and I told my guys down in Alabama and shit, and shout out to everybody down south.
Yeah, you know we was gonna get
East
to that,
Coast.
man. Where you from, baby? Where you from?
So it's more or less like I tell everybody now, man, don't get mad at me. That's all I'm asking.
Real talk.
Tell the truth.
Real talk.
And don't get mad.
Tell the truth.
Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty much sure the type of person you is and the love you shown and the way we done chopped it up just in a short period of time, man, like you want to see people win.
Real talk.
And the problem is people think it's a gimmick. And then you like me, you'll watch that gimmick because they can't outdo us because our shit real.
Yeah, real talk.
So
Genuine
they
from the heart.
try to figure it out, and then they try to feel like they can pay us back. But we ain't doing it for that.
Bro, man, come on, man.
We ain't doing it for that. Why we got to do that? We don't got to prove. When we get to the point where we at, man, we just happy just to be here.
Yeah.
But you know what it is though, and your walk is your walk.
Exactly.
And a lot of people, man, you know, they don't know what it is to walk in your shoes.
No.
Man, let these motherfuckers know where you from, man.
Man, I'm originally from VA, man. I grew up in Virginia, man. I moved all over. Lived down south, you know what I'm saying? And I just basically moved all over, man. I started off going to school down south, left there, moved to the Midwest. I lived in Canada for a couple of years, came back, you know what I'm saying? Got myself in some trouble, you know what I'm saying? You know how we all do.
Yeah.
You know the politics, you shake hands and kiss babies. So sometimes you can't shake everybody's hand, you know? So I decided, you know, to start working. Reached out to my pops and was like, hey, man, you know, look, my man got, you know, this, that, and the third. If not, then, look, I'm going to have to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I always been crafty with everything. Like, I had a barber shop. I used to cut hair.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, for a living.
Man of all trades.
Yeah, up in South Bend, Indiana. You know, shout out to my brother, Tim. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have done it without him either. You know what I'm saying? He always been there holding me down. He my young brother. So
Okay,
yeah,
man. Shouts out to Tim, man.
Yeah, definitely. Always. So it was more or less like I started working and I moved down to Texas. I working doing construction, busting my ass. You know, at that time I had just got caught up. I had an F on my report card. You know how it is. So it's trying to find work. But I tell all these young brothers, especially now, and you know how it is, you can always get a job working construction if you you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times they don't know that. And I started off from the ground up, started learning it. Man, I started doing nuclear work. You You know what I'm saying? I'm going contracting. I'm making great money.
Yeah,
like,
real
at that time, I'm making great money. And I came out towards this way, and I'm working. And it was like, man, I hated going to work. And then what happened was I was in this one building. There was like 250 people in there. You know what I'm saying? At this time, I done moved myself up. I'm the only black person in there.
Okay.
For about a month, these people wouldn't even speak to me. Real talk. So I'm thinking like, man, I done made it, went from being in the streets, getting in trouble, trying to change your life. You thinking that's the best way.
Still not good enough.
Right. It still wasn't good enough. And I just felt like, wait a minute. And they're asking me questions, but they don't want to involve me in nothing. I ain't good enough to get the bread, but I'm good enough
to ask the question to get the motherfucking answer
exactly.
to the resolution and stuff like that.
So what happened was I was sitting there and I told them, I was like, man, you know what? I'm better than this. Because if they asking me, obviously I'm supposed to have my own stuff. And I was sitting at the meeting, and it's like I could see me sitting at a table. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like these young boys don't understand that we all have a gift. We just walking it wrong, because if you know that, and my brother told me this, he said, man, y'all don't look at it like that. He said, man, and it's even though it ain't to be glorified, but, you know, people in the streets that hustle and they get a lot of money, they're really true CEOs.
Real talk.
We're really, you know, backing up. We was real CEOs. We knew how to put people. We saw what talent was.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, job seeker, man, recruiter.
And it's just like any other place. You knew, it's like any other place. You knew our vision statement. You know what I'm saying? So by our vision statement, you looked at it like this, like, hey, man, you got to be down and you got to be about your business. If you're not, then we don't got time for it. And that's one thing, like myself, I thank myself now for jumping out there off the porch like that.
Well, you know, it's like you go from one world, then you go on to the next world, right?
Right.
We don't get taught the rules.
That's a fact.
Right.
We forget that the same world we just got up out of it, we went into like this business world.
Correct.
Man, they more crucial and more criminals and more janky ass motherfuckers than it was when a nigga was sitting on the block.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how they got on. And
That's how they got on.
The people that did get on to be so-called the boss and everything, you don't know if the motherfucker said, man, uncle was cool with the owner.
Exactly.
And put him in position, and now you sitting.
Exactly.
And that's why they was coming to you. Because when it comes, I mean, let's be real. You know, my guy from Virginia, man. So who built DC?
That's a fact.
We been builders.
We been builders. Come on now.
Been builders.
Been builders. We been building.
So it's like,
everywhere we go. That's
on.
what I said. Everywhere you
Who
go.
built Boston? Who designed New York?
Come on. Real talk.
So when it comes down to it, it's no shocker that they coming over here to talk to the intelligent black man.
Come on now. And that's the thing about it. And it's like, we don't have to feel victim. It's like when you see, you know, it's like in anything you see, like, we set the trends. We set the trailblaze. Why do we have to feel bad once we set it and somebody else come in and snatch it to make us feel bad that we still rock it? Think about it. Back in the days, when we go back to Luke, look at Luke and look at now. What's the difference?
No difference, but it was all pushback. Not the same pushback.
They block Luke for doing anything.
The same pushback is what's hot, right?
Ain't
You
that
can't,
something?
motherfucker, female can't get on the motherfucking rap mic without talking about her puss or how she tricked this nigga or twerking.
Gotta turn her ass around and pop.
Come on, man.
And that's another thing. Like, they gotta understand, like, that whole you already know that whole twerking thing. Cause I was telling my homeboy, I was like, okay, it's cool, but when we grew up and we watched magazines, we wasn't looking for no ass. We looking for monkey. We not looking, you know what I'm saying?
What's the projection of the ass so tough?
Okay.
Come on now.
Well, you know what's funny? My partner and shit, right? You know, he in the street life and shit, right?
Yep.
And he started moving with his third eye. He stood up, and he told me the story. He said he stood up. He's like, man, he was at his people's birthday party. He said, man, I just got one thing to say. Hey, y'all, all my young sisters out here twerking and all that, it ain't cool. It's not cool. It's not a cool projection and everything, right? This was funny. Wait, man, this was funny about it. So, you know, the female, turn the music back up. One of the girls start twerking right in front of him and shit, right? You wanna know what's so funny about it?
What?
Man, that nigga's a pimp. And I'm sitting there thinking in my brain, like, wow, that's how fucked up that. Don't y'all know this
Not
man?
even to the point. Not
he's
even
giving
to the
you.
giving you game. He telling you, hey, they go to trap right there. Don't get caught in
Don't
the
get
trap.
caught in the trap. Because you would think, honest to God, he would be the opposite of wanting to see his young sister.
To the point where he's just like, man, this shit out of control.
This shit out of fucking
It's
control.
out of control, bro. And that's
Out
why I
of
said,
fucking
and
control.
think about this. And you look at it like this, as a female, you know, you turn around, right? Now think about it. Here's the perception. Okay, first, when they first start, before any female start, they fix their hair and they dance and they shake their legs. And then within 5 seconds, they turn around. Now, from that perception, that's all the flash you get is the first perception. And then you turn around, and the whole rest of the perception is turning around bent over. Now, we all know that doesn't necessarily mean a female. Because if you bent over and you put a wig on, what does that mean now?
They put a wig on a pig, watch a gig.
Because the perception is so short in the front, and the rest is in the back. And think about it, and dudes watch it. Like, how can you watch somebody clap their ass for 3, 4, 5? Like,
Hey, you know what?
that shit weird.
Hey, it's funny you say that. I thought I was the only one that like I'll be on YouTube,
Yeah.
or not YouTube, but I'll be on World Star, I'll be
Yeah.
on Instagram, and I'll hate when if I'm going and I'm scrolling, it's just a bitch straight. Get the shit up out of
I
here.
do it all the time.
Or I'll be watching Instagram and they'll be showing the cheek.
Yeah, I know I
Like, get
wanna
the
see
fuck
that
up out of
shit.
here. Like, it's like, man, it's a waste of fucking time.
Because they don't understand, like real mothers like us, we want somebody that's plain Jane about a business, that stand out. And I even told my daughter, I said, you gotta understand, when you get on Instagram, if everybody's following and everybody follows and they doing the same thing, you gotta do something different. Because any real G, I said, if you watch any gangster movie, the dude always go after the girl that's a lawyer, that's the doctor, that's all those ones that can articulate herself instead of sitting around here talking about what you're doing because she too busy trying to get herself together too. You got to keep up with her. Either you're going to do it right or do it wrong. If you look at all the ones, with the Wesley Snipes one, what was that? What was Wesley Snipes? He was in that. It's a gangster flick.
Oh, you talking about
Romeo, he was playing.
No, I know exactly who you were. Sugar Hill.
There you go, my man. Sugar Hill. Guess what? Remember, he threw the phone. He said, "I don't want this no more." His brother,
I don't give a fuck about
wanted,
this life.
Again, wanted to keep him in the streets,
Yeah.
and he like, "Bruh, I don't want that."
Well, because this is the fucked up perception. Somewhere or the other, society made it cool to be in the streets. And instead of these motherfuckers really asking the motherfucker that's from the streets, that's trying to make it over to a whole nother different society,
Right.
the projection's fucked off, man. Because you from Virginia, right?
Right.
All right, you're in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yep.
You didn't move to this motherfucker, man, to go do the same shit that's going on in Virginia,
My man.
Louisiana,
That's
Chicago.
what they don't understand. It's like when you think about coming up and we be out in the streets and you done did all the VIPs and walked in, and then now most cats be like, yeah, man, going to this thing. Bro, I done did it. If I'm going to do it, it's got to be bigger the next time. Why would I do the same thing? I'm going to fly somewhere else to spend money to do the same thing. But it's funny that, and I want to ask Kendra, so in your eyes, Kendra, what do you think as far as like with females, like, why do you think? Because then it went from the point where even you see black women, even what they call the BBLs and stuff, like where did it get to the point where they're more worried about what people think than about themselves? You see what I'm saying?
I think that it became so really I think that this is what I think. I think that it is evil, and I think that it's demonic, and I think that it's a trick for the world to become sexualized and be caught up in that. And because the sexualization is a lot, it's a hard thing to fight. It's everywhere now. It's become normal. Right. Now you have all these things. And so really, I think that it's just like, I really think it's as simple as a worldly trap. And the further now we don't have, like everybody used to go to church with their grandmother, if their mother wasn't in church or, whatever. And like now everybody's getting so far away from those generations. everybody's there's no. It's becoming so much more worldly and
no
worldly.
foundation.
Yeah.
No foundation whatsoever.
Yeah.
Lack of it, man. No moral character.
You know, somebody brought out attention to me about it, man. You gonna feel this, and you will. Like, it's like next time you walk out your house, look down the street. See if you see the aunties or the grandmothers hanging on the porch watching the whole neighborhood.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, man, I'm like, damn. Because my grandmother used to watch the whole fucking shit.
Yeah.
She still do.
And probably feed the whole neighborhood. I know my grandmother did.
Yeah, she still do. Would call me. God told me you've been doing, like, all bullshit to the left. My grandmother was so cold. Whatever she said was going to happen to you,
better count.
Happen to you. If you don't cancel, so I used to sneak out the house just so I didn't have to tell her bye.
So you didn't want to hear what she had to say?
Man, she be doing cold shit. Like she hear Nick, she might give me $20, right? Okay, it's on. You know, my mind, $5.
Yeah.
And I'm about to give me, man,
something else to it with it.
2 Phillies, nigga, and man, and a nickel sack, nigga, and it's on.
Right.
And right when I'm getting ready to walk out the house, she was like, if you buy weed with that money, you get sick.
Damn. Yeah, you know.
And I'd be like, shit.
Yeah.
But I would curse. I'd be like, come on, grandma, wait.
Yeah.
Here, grandma.
Because you are.
Ain't gonna, because it would happen every time.
See, that's deep, and that, you know, and that's what they say. That's that praying. That's them praying warriors.
Yeah, man, for real.
That's the ones that got you here right now. Because other than that, you would have been doing something else. That's why I be telling people all the time. It ain't me. I be telling everybody, bruh, it ain't me. Don't give me no credit. Because on some real shit, I be on some other shit.
Real talk.
I be doing something else. But every time I get ready to go do that, and I find myself in the bind, you like, damn, this shit just, okay, how this happen? But now you done got to the point you don't question the journey. Now, can't nobody tell you nothing. Now you know. And that's between, you know, like when you told me, when I tell you I just got off the road and you come off the plane, you tired, we both tired. We can't understand why everybody else can't get like that.
Huh. Why they movements ain't like that? You know what? And it's fucked up because, and I know you experienced this.
Yeah.
It's like you love your homies. You love your family.
That's crazy you saying that. We had this conversation, me and my people.
But it hurt. Don't it hurt?
Man.
When they don't see you can sit there, you can tell, well, how do you do this? And then you sit there, waste your fucking time for the hour or two.
Dump all that energy.
And then the motherfuckers don't even fucking use it.
But it really comes down to, like, when it comes to the people that you love, you have to love them where they're at, you know, and everybody is on their own journey. You know, I'm sure we all had elders who was trying to teach us something and was trying to put us onto game. We're trying to, you know, and we all had to find out for ourselves to a certain extent.
You know, that kind of depends on the way that you was raised. Because I was raised, I ain't even bullshit, I was raised young youngsters. I also was around a lot of old folks.
Yeah, so you learned the game.
So I learned the game because when I even said something, shut up, boy.
That was it.
You don't close your mouth. Open the ears.
Yeah.
You ain't grown. Learn something. Shut up. We don't care about your opinion.
Yeah.
So I at a young age, like my son, shut up, man. What the fuck? In my mind, it's so bad because there's nobody else to reinforce that.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what? Like the one rap I love, man, and he says, and it's powerful. He said, man, you gonna feel this. 38 Special says, it's sad when you tell your niggas that you love them and you don't know. I know. Fuck me up and you know you can feel it because it's like it's sad when you tell your niggas that you love them and you don't know.
Man, you know it's
like you say it's like that when you say the hurt part because people don't understand. I tell people a follower is somebody that will take anything that's coming at them, but a leader will put everybody else. That's what a boss is. And like Dane said, a boss is somebody that will put everybody else before himself because he know he can eat.
Real talk.
That's the difference between a boss and a leader.
No, and it hurt when they just don't follow through. You know, it's crazy because with Bump, that, like I said, that song Will Look, that's what made me, because it was like, I told him, but just to see him and it's just like, damn, because we seen each other.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He was like, man, nobody's seen it. And I told him, I said, you gonna kill it? And he was like, He said, I'm gonna do my thing. And I, like I said, salute the bumpy bars, man.
Man, for real.
For real, man. Like that's what I wanted to see.
I seen the humble beginnings.
Yeah,
you know
he
what I'm
told me,
saying?
he said, man, that's the homie, man, from back home, man, from the set. And he was like, man, I got much respect, man, I gotta have you meet him. And I was like, man, you sure? He's like, man, listen.
Yeah, man.
He 1,000 like you, man. He 1,000.
Oh, man, the energy, man, that's what I said. The energy was great, man. It was love, man. He gave me the thing. Because, you know, he was telling me the situation. I'm coming at it from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
And then when I'm saying, man, I'm asking him, I said, bro, he just give you clothes? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nah, he just sponsored.
Yeah, just want to see him win.
And then, you know, I'm like, and then he live out here. And then that's what fucked me up. And I'm like, he out here? And he like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know you all the way in L.A.? And like, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm everywhere. Everybody be like, man, yo, how you grind? It's just the grind. You know that,
on,
man. We from the old school era.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Come on, man.
We kept rubber bands on the wrist type thing. Come on, man. They don't understand that. That's you know what I'm saying. See,
what's one thing, man? The enlightenment that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated.
Man, I tell everybody the motivation is my kids, man, my family, man, my wife, and it's that I know that my purpose is bigger. You know, like us, where we come from. You know, we supposed to be a statistic somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And even in my family, you know, we go through the same thing. But you know, in our family, it's some things about, you know, what you call like family, like look up hood pride. Like everybody know that if you say something, it's a problem, right? Because everybody depend on you for whatever advice it is, even though as you done been through this shit. So we take that with accountability, you know what I'm saying? So me, I always looked at like my mom's wanted me to see me, you know, be better.
Yeah.
And then also this too, man, and you know this having a business, man, people always got excuses about everything else, man. It costs less than $200 to own yourself. And I want everybody to like let that sit. It costs $200 to own yourself. And most people will buy everything else but except them, their vision.
You know the fucked up is, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I know it happens to you. Mm-hmm. Niggas run up. I ain't gonna say niggas, anybody. Mm-hmm. Because leeches is leeches.
Exactly.
But they run up and they got $1 million plan for your money.
Yeah.
But bitch ass nigga ain't even got an EIN number.
Come on, man. That's what I tell them all the time. Like when they say something, they'll be like, well, you should do it like this. And I tell them all the time, what's your LLC? And they're like, what are you talking about? You don't have an EIN number? And they be like, nah. I said, well, yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, but yeah, we don't really, because other than that, you're not one, if you have these things, you would never talk to me about what I'm doing because you understand the grind and the struggle, and you're going to tell whether that fruit is being produced or if it's good or bad.
Man, hold on, and we're going to look at this camera, man. We're going to look. You weird motherfuckers, go get you a LLC.
Yeah.
When you get your EIN number,
Yes.
go to a credit union.
Yes.
Open up the fucking account, business account.
Yes. I was just telling my wife, we was talking about that. On the way it's coming, funny you say that. And like I said, you have to establish something, man. It's like, I know it's kind of fucked up, and I know the way you use it, but I look at it like this, the new age way of government, right? If you're going somewhere, and like back in the days, right, a slave could only go somewhere unless
he had papers. So what made them think it was stop now?
So if you got your papers, if they can't bother you tax-wise,
man,
they can't do none of that.
Man.
So now you
got too much game, man.
Yeah,
too much game.
We gotta talk it.
They don't be. And don't it hurt because you was like I carry.
Come on.
And man, how do you carry? What? And I'm explaining to him like
they act like they got to go to college and go for 4 years, and then after that got to take a big ass test. It's just a process, but people don't like processes.
But when you explain it to them and break it down, I'm like, well, let me explain to you how my interaction is with the police and how your interaction with police. Mm-hmm. When they get through, when they see my business card and license and every fucking thing else, And who gives a fuck if I got
Conversation's
20,000 with 40,000, 100? Who cares?
That's right.
I got a tax ID number.
Come on.
And look at them. Oh, you guys want to hold it? If you want to seize it? Okay, no problem. I had a lawyer.
problem.
Just
Got a
ahead, man.
lawyer.
Please do me a favor.
Yeah.
Put it in check form when I come back
Come
to
on.
pick it up.
Yeah, I get a hold of my CPA and everything.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but see, people don't understand, and that's the process of. Well, here's the thing: everybody likes complacency to the point where it's almost detrimental. You know, when you look at it, even like people like think about it. The risk we took in the streets is nothing compared to this shit.
Man. Come on,
This is man. Come on,
That's
man.
so true.
This is just conversation. If you got great conversation,
Conversation rule the nation.
all day.
Come on, man.
Man, you know, we was used to, the only thing I can say about, and you know this is, one of us say a lot of shit. The shit, and I tell everybody this, like, it's not, like, the internet's not real, dog. Like, you can't take everything on the internet, because if that's the case, you have to take movies. You know what I'm saying?
Entertainment.
People can't, and they cause, and then you have these young ones that because they can't mentally understand that, dog, it's not real, and they try to keep up. That like the new era is so worse than keeping up with the Joneses than back in the days. It's scary. Like think about it. You know these like we would never go and spend so many thousands of dollars on some shoes. Now we done all did some shit, but when it has no value. And again, it costs $200.
Well, see, you know, the value, it's like, you know, basically, man, old folks told me, it was like when you would see a brother coming from the South and he came to New York or he came to Boston and he was in a bright suit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To even down to the gold teeth.
Yeah.
It was like it was a mental thing of saying, hey, man, I just want to be recognized.
That's it. And then you think about it, most people that came from the South end up being the biggest kingpin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I just want to be, but I'm just even.
Just want to be accepted.
I just want to be accepted. I want to be recognized all the way to this day. The reason why motherfuckers running around Louis Vuitton and Gucci because they just want to be recognized. And I want to be recognized that I got money.
Yeah.
So if you guys could change one thing about the way that the world is, if you guys could go back and try to change one thing to try to fix it, what would you do?
I don't think I would fix it. It's not about fixing. I just think it's about
Survival of the fittest.
at this point, because again, nobody like the young folks. Again, he said you don't go outside, you don't see the grannies and the aunties and stuff on the porch no more. They're more afraid to come outside because again, nobody wants to like when we was growing up, right?
Yeah.
Towards in the middle of our ages, that's when you start seeing the females that was, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, back then you didn't see. I remember in the Jet magazine, we first started seeing females, the young girl getting pregnant because back then, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Most people was, you might have had a couple friends, but now most of these girls, they raising their sons and they did ponytails and shit
I hate that shit,
like,
man.
you know,
Earring in the fucking ear,
babying them and shit. Man, let a boy be a boy. You know what I'm saying? And then, and that's why a lot of these young men, they get emotional. Like, you know, back in our days, shit, man, you hollered at a female, if she didn't like you, okay, fuck it, that means your game was fucked up.
You laugh, you stepped it up.
Yeah, you stepped it up for the next. Okay, what I fuck up on? Okay, man, you can't do, okay, and then you move up. And then, you know, we used to listen to slow jams.
Oh, my God. You know what? What's the last time you been in the club and seen motherfuckers dancing?
Come on. Man, remember when the song used to come on, everybody, come on, man, I don't care what nobody was. It be just
looking. You looking.
I see her. There she go.
Oh, my
Come on, man. And you hoping they play 2 back to back.
Oh, shit.
You ain't trying to let go on the second one. Especially if she
come
say,
on.
hold on. If you see that nigga over there, that put like, damn, this nigga hating.
You know, we coming a day when, oh, man, that girl was freaking on you.
Man, come on.
Oh, she was doing the freak.
Man, what?
But even in the thing, like, that's why I say it's weird with the twerking thing because, you know, I think Dick Gregory said it the best. When he was like, man, you motherfuckers are so fixated by ass. That's where the shit comes out of.
Come on, man.
All it is full of shit.
Come on.
And when you think about it with that that's why now when I heard it, I was like, make a fucking
right. Think about it, because again, if you look at any video, it's about you get you about a good 1 minute where the girl sitting there, she dancing, she go to doing her legs, and you see the front, and then she turn around, and then all you see is hair and ass. I don't see that. And how do you watch 3 minutes of just somebody clapping their ass, dog?
Well, you know the funny part? That's why I don't like going to strip clubs. Another reason.
I can't. Come on, bro.
Mama.
That shit is whack.
Who the fuck want to see a girl just shaking her
That's
fucking
what
ass?
I said. I don't want you all up on me, grinding on me, dog. I pay money for my shit.
Man,
I pay too much money for my shit, dog. Don't be putting your goddamn legs all up on me and shit. You done jumped on about 8 legs.
Hey, man, come on, man.
Motherfuckers got dogs and shit. You got all types of hair. Yeah.
What did he say, man? Bleach the ass and shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What did Kanye say, man?
Man, shit.
Wife gonna be killing him, and then she bleached her asshole.
What do you think about that one, man?
From Kanye?
Yeah, like your boy Skeet, man. Skeet messed around and put they say he tatted Kanye's kid's name on their neck.
I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
Pete Davidson, can I be real with you?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about a druggie?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, okay,
the females is the fucked up individuals.
That's what I'm saying,
one.
but let's keep it a bean. Do you think Kanye should go back and smash?
Smash the broad?
Yeah, because she
Man,
banging Skeet. You just said.
Look. This
got. That's his baby
she
mama now.
But she been getting skeeted.
Yeah, but that's his baby mama, though.
Man, I ain't touched my baby mama. On the real.
Yeah.
When I see niggas and they argue with their baby,
yeah.
How old is your kids? Man, 14. And you niggas, you been fucking.
Yeah.
You still fucking. You still fucking, my nigga.
Yeah, nah.
Hell nah. My grandma told me that, like, if you're done, be done.
Yeah.
Don't go over there trying to stick your dick in there. That's when niggas be stupid. Hate their baby mama and end up with a second kid.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Like, fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. But he want her back, though.
Who, Kanye?
Yeah, he want her back.
Because that's his wife. It's not just his baby's mom.
Man, that brother has mental health issues.
He gotta have. I'm
detachments. It's called a detachment.
You don't think he got mental health? If a dude tattooed, okay, so this is what I'm gonna tell you. Like the old people used to tell me, and you know where I'm coming from. Kanye must don't got a strong back. Because if he had a strong back, there ain't no way to come. Man, let's be for real.
But wait,
let's keep it a bean now.
That nigga, boy, you know, I'm gonna say it like
He ain't got no strong back.
He got attachment problems.
But you guys are using the word baby mom. And like that's his wife. Like, you know, when you
That's the hood, that's LA's wife.
I mean,
that's LA's wife. So it's like, you know, it's like even with this whole video book, like who gives a fuck about Ray? Oh, I got the video back from Ray J. We seen it already.
Yeah,
right.
That shit old.
Who the fuck was,
That's what I'm saying. It's like publicity because it's like for the new people, we done seen that shit. That shit was whack then, it's whack now.
Yeah, like what in reality, what do the Kardashians do? They're not even
They're
fucking
entertainment.
Kardashians. They're not even Kardashians.
Yeah.
Rob is the only Kardashian. The bitch been remarried. So why we even let's
That's true.
Why we even calling them Kardashians?
OJ said he put up. OJ said he put her in the hospital.
On mamas. That shit. Like, man, this
what?
Listen.
The mama.
The mom?
Yeah, OJ said.
The moms is a rat.
He said he put her in the
Marcus
hospital.
Allen.
Yeah, Marcus Allen was smashing her too.
Because you gotta think this on my mama, and this all bullshit to the left. With them old, you know, that's Hollywood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I never held, like Bill Cosby, that's why I never held it against him.
Right.
Because that generation.
And
that movement, that's what they did.
Yeah, they had to cross over and mingle like that.
That's what they did. That nigga went to the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Hugh was doing that to the bitches.
Hey, shout out to Hugh Hefner. They end up, you know what's make me mad? That how everybody out, and shout out to the real P's, they came up in the game, the Slims, and how did he pull that shit out? How did he was a pimp. He was like,
you talking about how did Hugh?
Yeah, you signed a piece of paper and every police know he was hoeing in there.
It was mafia.
Like, think about it. He was hoeing in there. Like, it was against the law for everybody else, but not for him.
He was mafia based. He come up out of Chicago.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? That whole
Frankie and all
play,
them.
man, he was mafia based, man. So when it came down to it, you know,
That's
it
how
was slut.
Sammy stayed in the game.
Yeah, them slut magazines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean the mafia been when in New York when you used to go to Broadway. All them shits used to be fucking sex shops and everything. That's where the mafia used to make their dirty movies and they flick and shit. So it's like when they tell you, hey man, you know, prostitution and shit like that. That's why when I laugh at the United States, I'm like, it's no different than the war on drugs. You got to say pimping and pandering with human trafficking, but y'all don't go after these Chinese signatures.
That's right.
You don't go after these, man.
That's
you know,
a
these
fact.
females being brought over from Colombia and Valley. You see them all on the thing, man, and they're blown up. You mind? Hey, you go after old Bo Peep that.
Come on, man.
You think he over here really putting this bitch in a dog kennel, man? They trying to get rich. They broke.
They broke. And let's take it even further. Like, think about when that time when everything just went, when those people was coming across the border and they said all those kids, man, where the motherfucking kids at, bro? Like, let's keep it a bean. Like, they said they was missing little kids, and they take it, but they don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to acknowledge that.
Man, come on, man. Think about it. It's crazy. When it's them doing it, it's okay.
Yeah.
When it's us doing it, it's a problem.
Right.
Bootlegging, Kennedy's.
Yeah, they've been there. Kennedy started with the lick.
Whole houses, Trump.
Yeah.
We win the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's true.
Reality, you want to know, man, let me tell y'all something about Seattle. Seattle.
Oh, I know about Seattle. I can tell you some shit.
Guess who saved Seattle when they were broke?
Who?
Remember the earthquake fell. You know, Seattle was built on levels and levels and levels of old fucking. They just built Seattle. They just built up. Mm-hmm. Like when that shit crumbled from earthquakes, they just built on top of it. Fires in the early 1900s. Mm-hmm. It was a man. It was a madam. I can't think of her fucking name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was a madam. She put up all the money to rebuild Seattle.
Wow.
You know, because First Avenue. You know what I'm saying? That used to be the whole straw. That was when you came in, you wanted to buy all the pussy, liquor, and every fucking thing. You went on First Avenue.
I give you one even better. Like I collect, for my kids, like a lot of black memorabilia, and like especially in Seattle, people, they always want to claim like this liberal and shit. But when you look at it, a lot of people don't know. There used to be a restaurant here. The mayor was like back in the days was one of the. And I got the menu and everything that I had to pay for. The mayor was one of the biggest Klansmen back in the days. He had two places. He had two restaurants. You ever get a chance, if you Google it, look it up. It used to be called Coon's Chicken.
Yeah. And it would have the black dude with the smile and the thing.
Had the Sambo in the front when you walked in through the door. Yeah, he had one here and he had one in Portland. Yeah, and I actually have that menu. And when you look at the menu, man, it's something else. And like I said, it's sad. Again, that's why I tell people, a lot of times we can't keep blaming the situation. We just told you how to fix it. Go and own yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because at first, when you think about it, the government, you already bought by the government when you get that Social Security number. Now go buy yourself back.
Up top.
That way, if anything, you make your money on it and they don't make all your money.
Hey, you know what? I don't think people really look into it like that.
See, I look at it simple.
Because if the average person would understand Social Security, then they would understand that it's a corporation.
Right.
But
you already bought.
You bought in. You're buying in. Every time they took this much off of this, took this much off of that. For you to live to 65. You niggas ain't living past 59. You know what I'm
saying? And they know that. That's why they put that stat out there that far.
65.
So the long as they keep confusion and all this violence, and like I was talking to my homeboy, I said, man, you know what? I was listening to some dude say some stuff the other day that messed my head up. They said, how can blacks make the government change laws? And one of the things the guy said, it was pretty deep. He said, everybody needs to go and get, like, whether it be life insurance, anything accidental, whatever. And the reason being is insurance companies have the most stringent and the most powerful lawyer firms in the world. So what happens is if somebody does something to you, whether somebody is a violent crime or whether it be a police crime, whatever it might be, what happens is you no longer have to go get these motherfuckers get on them stands and they get the damn preaching why they talking about doing this, and they always pick. And you know, we've been in the system when they go to file for these charges, it's like, damn, bro, the charge straight off. Just say what the charge is. You come up with and that's why a lot of these charges get dropped. But guarantee if you had insurance companies got they gonna make sure because they have to tell the truth.
To pay out.
Then they don't pay out.
But you know what, man? Again, old school Baba Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
He came out with that and he said, hey, you want to stop police shooting? Make every police officer hold their own insurance. And he said, I guarantee overnight police would stop fucking shooting. But as long as they can, we shoot the taxpayers, we gonna pay for it.
That's true. Cause they get put on leave and we still paying for it.
Motherfucker on straight vacation. Motherfucker on vacation, feed up.
Paid for it. And then come back and sit behind a desk. That's crazy.
Man, what's the movement, man? What's the movement, Kendrick?
Yeah,
how do we do better?
Break it down for us.
How do we do better? I think to start, it starts with everybody having to have positivity in their mind. For one, taking out the negativity. Once you have a clear mind and you take out the negativity and you're able to work on yourself, then you can be able to teach your children and teach the young people who are coming up in the world to do better.
I got a debate for you on that.
Yeah, I was going to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because, you know what I'm saying? And it's a good debate, but it's just something to think about because you are the queen and you're queening with Kendra. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the woman has stepped up out of the household is the reason why our kids are acting the way that they're acting, because they're latchkey kids. And it always, like, people be like, oh, well, if the father's not there, okay, yeah. But the father provided lights, a plate, a roof over your head, and clothes to put on your back. But he worked so fucking much and was so fucking tired that he came in, he got his big piece of chicken.
Yep, got to get the big piece.
Hey, wife tell him what the kids was doing.
Yep.
If they fucked off, he was ready to fuck them off, and now y'all take y'all asses to bed.
I still do that.
On my mind, go to bed.
Yeah, that's right.
So when I be seeing, when I mean, you know, oh, it's because there's but the black father's not in the house. I'm like, yeah, no, black moms left a long time ago. Grandma died. Grandma not raising these kids no more.
Yeah, Granny ain't there.
Granny don't even want to watch the kids and shit because, you
She's
know,
at
the
the
motorcycle
club.
club is cracking.
Come on now.
Let's be real. Hey, Granny got to get to the motorcycle club.
Yeah, she got.
So she ain't got no time to be watching these fucking kids.
She got her boy shorts on tonight. It's cracking.
So then, you know.
Bragging up in there.
She got a BBL.
Yeah, she got a BBL.
Yeah. No, for real.
That's a fact.
And then these kids is like, okay, they go find an 18, 17-year-old or something to watch the kid, and then they wonder, man, you know what I'm saying? Then these kids watching YouTube.
Yes.
So little Johnny's in there learning how to make a pipe bomb.
Real shit, yeah.
And shit, and then...
Yeah. And they still want to be their friend. But on that piggyback off of what Nick said too, the problem too is, and you're right, that where I think where we done got at, everybody is worried about emotion, right? So
Yeah, everybody needs to move past their trauma.
But what I'm saying is, where we going wrong is a lot of people are caught up in emotion, like, you know, like they say, men are logical and women are emotional, right? So like back what he was saying, a lot of these young men are being raised, you know, like they say, it's what, 73, 75% young men are being raised by a single mother.
Yeah.
So as they're being raised, and like you're saying, emotional-wise and growing up, what happens is emotion takes over from logic, right? So men are logical. Like me, like he used an example about the guy came in. He was so mad. Emotion, if he was raised by and was no man around, because he said earlier would slap him. If emotion would have had him fuck up his place, right? But logic, and that was raised because a man said, hey, you don't get mad and show your emotion. You never show
Show
your
your
hand.
emotion. Don't expose your hand.
Never show your hand. That's what we were taught as men. But these young boys, because women are not taught that.
Yeah.
Men are. We all are taught that if y'all get mad and you know, like they say, a woman is scorned, that's it. It's a woman scorned. She ain't turning back. But a man is supposed to be able to turn back. Because you wouldn't want to be with a man that's emotional. Because what happens is he turns around and you get, the louder you get, the louder he get.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want no man to get loud because most old school men will tell you in a minute, he'll tell you, Nick, shit, they just leave. They're not going to argue with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's not going to win that argument. So why am I saying argue? I'll go ahead and leave. I'll come back and then we'll try it again because you don't want me to go nowhere, but we're not going to go in because I'm not going to win that.
Well, when you know, it's so crazy, man, because it hurts.
Yeah.
Because, man, you know, I be trying to, man, you know, first off, man, you bitch-ass niggas that be bothering these senior citizens and these old folks.
Yeah.
It's like they grew up having to put their head down and be called niggas and everything for your bitch ass. And
I
now
say the same thing.
grew up scared.
Yep.
And then they gonna end up dying scared.
Scared. Ain't that a bitch?
Bitch ass mother,
That's
you
why I
bitch,
said.
you bitch ass.
And I tell them, like, man, you why are you, like I even told my own, I said, imagine some of the people like my grandmama and all them that pick cotton from V8, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how they feel now. And then I always tell people, how is it, and then ask yourself this, how is it if back then in Tulsa, that money exchanged hands 7 to 10 times before it left the community, and they were back then and didn't know no better with no electronics. Half of them couldn't read. They just knew they wanted a business, right? How is it that they were better then than we are now?
Well, because I'll give you a perfect example. We only get half the story. It's still his story, even when they're telling us about Tulsa.
That's true. That's
See,
true. Oh, I see
the
what you're saying.
Reconstruction period is the Reconstruction period.
Like Harriet Tubman.
Yeah. Why is it, when I always just sit back and laugh, they be like, you be in school, and they're like, yeah, they tell you about the Civil War, and they tell you about the Reconstruction. Well, why did they have to really rebuild it if they built it the first time?
Right. That's a fact.
They didn't build it the first
Built
time.
it for a time.
So your labor, your skill unit, your workforce just got cut free.
Right.
So when we hear about these cities like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and shit like that, man, you know what I'm saying? And we met Bakersfield, like outside of Bakersfield. You know, Bakersfield, one of the first black fucking cities in the motherfucking California. And shit.
Didn't that family end up winning like
the beach bag, yeah.
Yeah, they end up getting the beach bag and stuff. Yeah, I heard about that shit.
Yeah, they got it back, man. You know, and the cold part is that's one of the richest little bit.
Wow.
And shit like that. Man, excuse me, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, baby
ahead.
drama over here is dropping off. My son supposed to be on daddy duty and shit. So clothes, I'm telling her, hey, I'm filming, man. I'm doing something more important than what the fuck you're talking about. Just drop my you supposed to been drop my son off, man. Now you want to sit here.
But you know, though, this Friday conversation.
Hey, real talk.
Hey,
real talk.
You
know, nothing from nothing leaves nothing, man. You know what I'm talking about? So she gonna have a nothing ass Friday and everything tonight.
Yeah, come on now.
Hey, I don't. But nah, man, cause like another thing that I feel like, you know your roots. Sean still don't know their roots. You ask the average motherfucker, where you come up out of? Yeah. They ain't able to tell you, oh, my family came from Arkansas, my family came from Mississippi.
That's the movement. Teach the history.
That's where the problem is.
That's the movement.
When you don't know where you came from, when you don't know, like I swear to God, I tell my son every time, hey, when you go to school, you fuck up, you fuck off my last name.
Man, I just showed you the picture of my son. Shout out to my son, because this video gonna be a long time, man. I had to go through storm and weather, man, and then you messed up your tooth. I'm not mad at you, dog, because as men, that's not my job to tear you down, but to let you know that as fathers, and we can agree on this, we just want you to listen.
You know, and that's why.
And we're fighting the society. Like, think about it. It's like, here's the crowd of majority, and here's us. And we're like, hey, son, this, that, and the third. But the crowd is saying, don't believe him.
Man, come on, man. Can I be real with you?
Yeah.
Well, no, two things, man, I'm terrified of. I'm terrified of the police knocking down my son,
Yeah.
and I'm terrified of my son turning gay.
That's a fact. That's
And it's
real
like-
shit. And it's like, how do you monitor? Yeah. And
What the fuck happened
Yeah.
that we got to this fucking
Yeah.
level?
Yeah, it's so, man, dude, what are you talking about? Like, and it's hard, and I try to tell my son, and here's the thing, the more they push this shit on the TV, and it's not the fact, like, when we was coming up, right? Like, and it's no offense to nobody, and again, this platform don't speak for me, I just speak for myself. So it's just, at the end of the day, it's more or less like, why do you feel it necessary? Like, even to the point, like, me and my wife was talking, like, how do you feel that now they want to say a woman is a baby carrier and a person that is not a woman that transitions, because they say transition, and that's a fucked up word to use, because in order to transition, you got to complete a process. And you cannot complete a process because you still cannot have a child. That's what I love about God. You can do all that you want to, but you can't carry nothing.
Nature is nature.
Nature's nature, right? So how do you feel that now they're trying to categorize women as baby carriers, or they call them, what is it, baby carriers or something, and then the transgenders as women?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I really try to live my life for me, and the people who I love and who I talk to, I really, how do I feel that they've been trying to do so many other things. Like, we literally just sat here and literally made a whole list of things that they tried to do or that they did, you know? So how do I feel about it? I don't really care, honestly, but not because I don't care because it's not important. I don't care because they're going to do it anyway.
But and I hate to cut you off, but why? See, this is where the accountability, right? And I'm just going somewhere like, why is it that when it comes, again, that's, the stereotype with the black man, we're accountable, right? But when it comes to stuff like that, and I hear females, and I'm not just, they say, well, I don't really care, but you should, because that's what they're saying is you're not what you say you are.
Well, you know what? This the fucked up part to this.
Well, okay.
We'll go, because this is the point. The fucked up part to it is, the saddest part is our sisters is not on board. And they been not giving a fuck about y'all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They just used y'all.
But what I'm
All the
saying, like
time.
you said, like you said, what they said, I don't really care what they said because God already said for me, So like,
Right.
what I really do, like, there's always gonna be something like this that's going on,
Right.
But they, like you just said, there's nothing that they could do that trump what God said.
Right.
Period.
But what happens is that's where it goes back when I told you about the women that end up getting these surgery done because they're keeping up with something that already is, and again, not to be disrespectful, but manufactured. It's like you can't be a Barbie doll,
Right.
right? But if they can make a Barbie doll, you wasn't born one, and you're the original blueprint. Why do you want to be the duplicate? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, because I got a
Why
whole
would you-
lot of points
If
together.
you're the blueprint,
Yeah.
wouldn't you get mad if somebody try to steal your blueprint and try to bootleg it? Just saying.
Okay. So yeah. So wait. So let's say yes, I do get mad. Then what are you saying that women are supposed to be doing? Are you saying that we should be out there protesting, saying you guys cannot do this?
What I'm saying is with that they have to be just honest and with dialogue, and when you're saying words like that, because again, when you have younger generations coming up and they believe in these things, what happens is the wording is what because I get, it's like they say, you can say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So when they say that women are baby carriers, well, no, a baby carrier is a woman.
Right.
See, that's two different meanings. That's where the deception of the wordplay is, right? So if a woman is a woman that carries a baby, but that's not true, because a woman that has a baby is a woman.
But and
That doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
but you hella fucking smart. So let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
We're talking about a Greek-Roman society.
Correct.
Where in Sparta.
With paganism.
In Sparta, a woman was only used just to have a kid, but they took a motherfucking young man and kept him on the field having homosexual love.
And they did all they plays with men as women.
So, and when it comes down to it and shit like that, he never did, man, as they say, man, hey, we had the right to vote before that motherfucking white woman did.
That's a fact.
So it's no shocker, it's no shame. They've been exposed to what the fuck they're into and what the fuck it is.
I get exactly what you're saying. It's kind of hard for you guys to even fight for it, because again, it's almost like it's like catch-22. It's like, okay, they're fighting for the women's and what you guys deserve to have, but they're throwing that, it's like that gumbo. But, it's like when the kids say, Daddy, I don't eat okra. But you say, okay, I won't put it in there, but it's going to be gumbo. But you just throw it in there and then you let them eat it. And then you realize, oh, it was okra. Boy, I put that in there anyway.
But
That's what the world does with women, right?
Yeah.
It started with the Me Too movement, and women had their rights and their respects. But what happened is they threw that in there. Now you got people that's swimming. You got a man that was swimming that wasn't good, became a woman, and now he's the top gold medalist. Like, how does that happen? And nobody said, like you said, nobody said anything. Well, that's not right. Why, he shouldn't have been able to even go for a championship. He should have been able to try it, but not go for a championship.
Well, I'm going to be real with you. I was just at a high school track meet. So I just told myself I'm going to identify as a fucking high school track runner.
That's what I said. I told somebody the other day. Why? Is that now if you say
wrong?
If you say that, then they're racist.
Am I wrong?
No. Because that's
Respect my rights.
Because that's what you feel like that day.
So when you see me, man, at your front door, man, and your daughter says my prom date's here, and you see my old ass with I didn't cut and the gray hairs is hanging and shit, I identify as a high school teenage young man.
Right. And how would you feel about that? And that's what I'm saying. Like, people want to say that, and again, it's not necessarily about whether it's in your backyard or not. It's like, I just don't want to buy my block. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between somebody saying that and again, that's where we go wrong, is that we got to build back up the neighborhood. We can't look for people to build back up our neighborhood. But again, that goes back. Go ahead.
So what should women be doing?
I'm not saying I can't speak as what women should be. I'm just saying, how did you feel? Did you see that when that guy, again, I'm trying to get politically correct. I don't know. So again, I apologize, but the person that raised their hand and had the medal and went from, as a man,
the swimmer,
was number 200 and something as a man, but became a gold medalist and was standing next to women that have worked all their life as a woman to compete with other women to get outbeat. And imagine that's your time to shine, and it was taken away.
How? Okay. I look at it a little bit differently. Like, I understand what you're saying, but like, how did I feel about it? I felt like it was a distraction.
Okay.
I felt like it was a distraction. Like, I don't
to a bigger agenda.
Yes, like, I don't really that's why I'm like, all the stuff that's really going on, like, I know that they just had a protest in Seattle about abortion, and I don't know
Roe versus Wade.
I don't know because
this is the thing, and this is on mama and shit like that. And Roe versus Wade is the woman having the action to do with her body as she pleases.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, let's be truthful. And not even from a racist standpoint, but just being real.
Right.
This Caucasian man is dying off. There's your Roe versus Wade. Just keep.
Right.
It's a numbers game. They've told you the projection of the United States by 2050 there is not going to be no motherfucking Caucasians.
So
So hear me.
Yeah.
So again, that's your answer. We're gonna tell you motherfuckers you can't get no abortions because we're not populating. Our granddaughters is having Negroes.
Yeah.
And Latinos.
So what are they saying? So they're saying that, what the act put in place is saying that there are no more abortions allowed, is what
it's not supposed to be no more. Basically, that's what the Roe versus Wade
nationwide?
is, the choice of a woman going to have an abortion. So yeah, in so many words, yeah.
But do you
they're
think
gonna hold it up in all many different kind of laws, but what they're trying to see when it comes down to it, when you think of it, it's like no different than why the fuck they're bringing all these fucking Ukrainians over here.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. Like
numbers game. And I even said, I hate to cut you up, I even said that too. I said, think about it. And people don't understand. If you think about Democrats, what's the first thing you think about? You think about blacks, right? So at this point, Democrats never, if you really look at it, never wanted to be attached to that population, right?
Yeah.
So now they're allowing all these others come in because they know if we're getting to the point of time where we saying, nah, fuck this, we want our turn, right? Think about it. But now they're giving everybody else a turn. So when we finally say we want our turn, they're gonna say, well, we ain't got nothing to do with y'all. It's a numbers game.
Unfortunately, we don't have no money. Inflation rates.
We don't have nothing. But think about it. Everybody else comes over here, they give it to them.
Well, I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? I can't be mad by knowing the rules to the game.
Right.
I knew the rules to the game the first time I got called a nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't, nigga, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, you like, oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My grandfather, you know, from a biblical standpoint, he went, Niger, and we went in all through the Ethiopian and all that. But at the end of it all, man, a motherfucking white person call you a goddamn nigga. You ain't trying to go from the biblical standpoint.
Because you already know that ain't where they come from.
And that ain't what he mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the flip of the word. But at the end of it fucking all, it's like, where you come from? What you gonna do, fucking complain?
That's a fact.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I
saying?
said. Nothing to complain about, dog.
I've been looking for this white man for a long fucking time, man.
You know, but that's where the program of the fear comes in.
It's already programmed,
You know
you
what I'm
weird
saying?
ass motherfuckers. Y'all talking into existence.
You're talking into existence. Think about it. And I had this one dude tell me one time, he said, I was on the phone talking to my son. I was like, yeah, man, you know, I don't want to see you get in trouble. I don't want to see nothing happen to you. End up going to jail, da-da-da. And I got off the phone, right? And he was just looking at me. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, man, can I ask you something? I was like, yeah. And this is going to blow your mind. He said, can I ask you something? I said, what? He said, and you can probably even attest to this on this and this situation. He said, why do you tell your son that? He said, because when I was coming up, my parents would never tell me that I would get killed or I would go to jail. He said, why do you say that? And it dawned on me. Why do we say that? Why do we tell our kid, like you even said earlier, man, I don't want to see my kid get smoked.
Because they're black.
It's the fear.
But it's the
fear
program that they put it because
programming into us.
That's why when we say we see the police and white people go off when we like, damn, that's crazy. But no, but they're not taught to be afraid of them.
Exactly, because they ain't never had nothing.
So why? So who I want to know who the fuck came up with them logics to keep telling us? Because every generation is passed down to that.
Well, it's not to step on my partner over here, man, Kendra and shit. But a lot of it has to do with religion.
Well, that's a control.
A lot of
it's
it has
always
to do with religion
factor.
and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The minute that the church finally started raising revolutionaries, now it's majority. The church has been improvised.
Yeah.
It's not a masculine alpha energy.
No.
When you go up in the church.
Right.
So this is the problem. That's the problem that the black church is having.
But you think because the fact that the black churches, like back in the days, were more into investing into because of the communities when we talk about those versus them being government funded. Because when you government funded, then
you got to Protocol.
You have a
Protocol to get
protocol.
that. Well, the black church was the first talent shows. They were the first MCing. They was the first reading. You know, you got up, you performed in front of your peoples and everything. The church was, when you went off to school, they was the one that took the offering and gave you that to help. And you know what I mean? And they got away from that, man. They became, it became a corporation.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You in there and you're like,
well, think about even during the pandemic and doing all of the riots and stuff. Why didn't you not see anybody in churches?
well, the sad part to that, I'm gonna be real with you. My grandfather loved him to death.
Yeah.
If he was alive, that would have killed him because he would have said, that's not of God.
Exactly.
Church is really, this is the craziest part.
Break it down.
Church is the auto body. It's the auto body shop.
I like that.
It's when you, after you done been through
Everything.
When
It's hood therapy,
come on, man.
basically.
You come in, you hear that word, you hear them singing, you hear the praise team.
But I got a
The
question.
hair stick on your neck,
right,
man.
But I got a question for you. I like the term when you said body shop, right? So when do we come out the shop?
Man, some never do.
That's real.
It's like saying, you know, you got perfectionists. You know the motherfucker that go get his car waxed and he come back and say, well, man, I see these swirls.
Yeah.
It's a nigga that been seeing them swirls for the past 30 years. Same swirls. God, please take this fornication away from me. But he's still in the club on Saturday night having drinks and shit like that.
But again, does that come? Where does, again, as a person, if you like one of my saying is if you cut from good cloth, why you not wearing it?
Because unfortunately, man, you know what I'm saying?
But everybody had it back in our era. And you think about the ones now. Think about it, in our era, it was based off of the grandmamas and shit. Where's those dudes at? Where we at?
I keep it 100.
Yeah.
We in our street ministry.
That's true.
God didn't, man, God didn't. Remember, God walked into the fucking temple, man, and said, you making a mockery of my father's house, and flipped over the tables and shit like that.
Yeah.
God don't need motherfucking gold chandeliers at the potter's house.
Nah, he
and
don't.
shit.
He don't need
He don't give a fuck if it's marble.
He don't care nothing about it.
Man, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying?
Real.
We the, like in a sense.
But even then, when you think about it,
Talk to me.
after all that, even when he flipped it over, the problem is his was accountability, and people don't realize they'll never love you from where you came from. You got, in order to be big, you got to go somewhere else. Because he said when he left, he said, "I'm gonna be about my father's business."
He's about his father's business. But
So my question to you is, where is the niggas at our age that's about their father's business? I'm not speaking just in the street ministry. I'm just saying being accountable, because that's what Jesus really was saying. He was accountable.
a lot of them is putting 2 to 90.
That's what I'm saying.
The other half, man, is moving, is being controlled by a woman.
That is a fact. That's
You know
what
what I'm saying?
destruction is.
It's being controlled by a woman.
And I think that has something to do with maybe what you guys were talking about the twerking videos and all that stuff. Like, it's a distraction. It's okay.
Well, it's a distraction, man. Everything's a distraction if you let it be. If you choose to, but this is the thing. We move with a third eye.
Yes.
All right? So we move with a third eye. And we get the majority of our fucking best vitamin D from the sun.
Correct.
We got an alignment.
Well, think about it. Why would anybody keep? That's what people don't understand. Why would anybody keep people locked up in the house? Only certain people would keep you locked in the house, because again, that's where we get it. So what happens is we end up building that resistance to the sun, and it throws our stuff off.
I bet I'm gonna take you back. And remember growing up? Mm-hmm. Remember going outside playing football?
Or just going out in the morning and standing out in the sun when your eyes half closed and just getting it.
Feel this. You remember you in the neighborhood, you always had that one kid, or maybe 2, 3 kids.
Bless you.
That stayed in the house all the time.
Yeah. Always sick.
And then when they went to school, they're sick, or when they would come out, they'd be punks because they ain't had no fights.
Right.
They don't know what it is to thump. They don't know what it is, man. Just,
They don't know nothing.
They just in food.
They in food.
Well, then that's what the fuck all these fucking kids are. They the kids that don't come out.
That is true.
See, we the kids that was running, jumping, and hanging on trees, fighting.
That's the ones that watch TV, and now it's okay for the stuff they seen on TV because they want to make it real life now.
Your folks used to tell you, man, hey, turn that fucking television off and go outside and play.
Yep, and that's why the kids right now have no concept of real life, and why the kids are killing so many people because they live in this virtual world where they really don't have a concept of the value of real life.
Because they can hit the reset button or turn it off and they don't understand that you can't do that. You can't just turn that off, and they don't have no remorse. And have you ever noticed when you look at a lot of these kids, when you're looking at them, it's like you can stare straight through them. That's the scary part. When you look at them,
like they're really not there.
Yeah, like a blank look.
Yeah.
Like you try to explain it to them, and they just like, go ahead.
It is us as older black men, man, we gotta talk, man.
Yes.
Like, we got to talk to these youngsters, like these 19s. We got to just talk. Like, I promise, man, sometimes I make it a point. I'll be someplace and I look over and I'll see a young black kid and I'll make it a point just to make the eye contact with them.
Just to let them know that you're real, and it's not about what you wearing. It's like, man, I can see the real in you.
Man, what's going on, family? What's going on, man? What your grades look like?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, you know, that's back in the days. Come
on.
Even the roughest ones used to, hey, man, keep your ass in school, man. Take your ass to school. I better not catch your ass out here. Nowadays, I saw a video where a little young boy messed around, was sitting there in one of the old heads. I think it was on the West, where the dude was like, yeah, man, this, you know what I'm saying, I'm one of the big homies. He said, no, I'm a big homie. The little young boy counting the money like, I'm the big homie. And he said, now you tell him. He said, yeah, he my big homie now. He's like, he gonna let me get $1,000. He said, yeah, nigga, tell him I'm the big homie now. And this little young boy had to been about 19, 20. And the dude was like about 40, 50.
Because they put the value. See, it's not just to go and just try to just like assassinate these youngsters and stuff like that, because, man, these brothers need love, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that. It's the fact that right then and there, again, that era where that dude was at, again, like where he went wrong was, and when you look at these young kids nowadays, these kids don't go by a lot of our barriers that was put up when we was young. Some things, don't ride with this many people. And they're not afraid of the police. That's one thing about them. Ain't none of them afraid of the police. They don't have no, again, like you said, they play them games and they stay in the house. So they don't have that reaction. You see what I'm saying? Like nowadays, they used to tell us when we went somewhere, think about it, when you went somewhere, the only thing you was worried about is a nigga trying to jump you and fight. Now, the mamas got the guns. The little young boys got the guns. Mama's in there like, hey, don't forget your gun.
Well, you know, it's a mother mentality.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when is too much nurturing too much?
Man, at the beginning.
This is the thing. These kids ain't built like that.
It's a balance, though. It's supposed to be a balance. It's not when is it too much nurturing. It's supposed to be a balance. It's supposed to be half and half. It's supposed to be half nurturing and then half like what is it that the father teaches? Nurturing comes from the mother, and then what comes from the father?
The dad gives the guidance.
The guidance, yeah. So it has to be so. I guess that's the question. I guess that's the answer is when is it too much? Is when it's not balanced with guidance.
And that's where the single moms, but what I'm saying is the problem is because you have this, you know, this cousin raised like that cousin raised like that. So what happens is the older cousins didn't have that bringing. So they're encouraging it instead of saying it. Like we always had, like, you know that in the family, you might have had the one that was the bad one, the one that got fucked up all the time, but then you had the nerdy one, the one that everybody daddy respect, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have at least, like that's what I said earlier, Like yourself, you can say something in your family and everybody already know, oh shit. Like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
Damn, you trying to call people, they scared they ain't answer, that type of stuff. That's your family. You learn that from somebody else that was like that in your family. They don't have that.
What you started it off with the key word.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah, they don't have that.
We don't have that family structure.
Yeah.
When the last time, man, you been to a family reunion?
Yeah, that was another thing, yeah.
When's the last time?
Have it all the time.
2017.
Yeah.
See this the crazy part. We the uncles at the grill now.
That's a fact.
That's
true.
We the ones that, like, me and my man, which is my uncle, but he's my brother. We the same age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shouts out, man, Captain Robert Hawkins, man, you know what I'm saying?
Salute.
Black Satorian, man, you know what I'm saying? Represent one of them brothers, man, that's really in LA trying to recruit our people.
Good.
You know what I mean? And
Doing
keep them on it that does win, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it was his idea. He was like, man, let's go to Laughlin. I'm like, Laughlin? What the fuck are we gonna go to Laughlin for? None but white boys. And so he said, man, nah, fuck that, man. I see they got their boats, the jet skis, and everything.
Right.
So then we went, right?
Right.
I'm talking about for the first 3-4 years, arguments. We get somebody arguing. We gonna get into an argument.
Right.
But as it projected, more people started coming. And then more and more relatives started coming. And then more relatives, my grandmother's aunt. And the next thing you know, we functioning. We in there thick. Right now, and I know I'm gonna call y'all right now, which are my older cousins, they're all older and everything like that.
Right.
But hey, we going to Laughlin this year. So me and my uncle would be the ones to get up early and these motherfuckers come. Look, they come, show up. They jumping on the boats, the jet skis. We the one put up all.
They still in the hotel room sleep. Y'all up in the morning. Everybody
putting up all getting the grills going and everything like that. But the thing is, and I had to see it for myself, like, because when I was younger, my grandfather and all his Shriner buddies and Mason buddies and Blazers, and man, they had the vans.
Yeah, they had the vans.
Man, they gonna go picnics, softballs, barbecues.
They pulling out the big grill.
And you think these really your relatives? They ain't even your relatives.
They ain't even relatives.
But they grow up and you know when you move and
yes.
So that family structure, man, that's what, man, you know what I mean? At the end of it all, that's what, because even like even as a big but small city as such as Seattle, in reality, these motherfuckers are killing each other's relatives. They really related.
That's what's crazy.
They 3 degrees of not even 6, but 3 degrees of separation because there's only so many motherfuckers. Everybody, all the black folks wasn't coming up here.
That's what I said when I came. I was like, I don't see him like that.
So it's like, and I get, there's beef because where we come from is beef where you come from that goes back before. It's beef where I come from that goes back before me, and I get it.
Yeah.
But for the population and everything that it holds, and it's everything like fuck, man. Like what are y'all doing? Like fuck, man. Like I get it, but y'all are such a less the numbers up here in this numbers game. Like please, man.
That's right.
Some intelligent motherfucking brothers out here,
well,
but they want to be so hard that it's like. What's wrong with being intelligent?
And they're not even they don't even realize demographically, like, it's not the same. Because you can't do that. You can't do that everywhere you go, So I don't know, man. Like you said, I just think like we have to start being accountable, dog. Like we cannot keep blaming the same people because them people ain't thinking shit about us.
Yeah, real talk.
They're not. They don't have the time. Because like you said, if they're getting to the point of being extinct, they're going to do everything to block us. So obviously, we just need to keep going forward.
We have to, man.
Yeah. We can't make excuses because if that's the case, statistically, then we're already projected to overcome. So why is all the other ones? Because I don't understand how you can have all this accessible stuff but you don't got no ownership. You ain't thought about buying no business, something that you can pass on. You can't pass a chain on, my nigga.
You know what? I'm going to be real. Because I look at it also with 2 points, though, brother. information is information. Right. That information wasn't like we behind. We 100 years, 200 years, 300 years behind.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That information being shared, that they went through that. And it's funny because, especially being in the United States, when you go to other places, you still see the Caucasian criminal enterprise.
Yeah, and it's okay.
But they never, they glorified in the movies.
Yeah.
They're robbing banks and shit, and you're, the town.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just some Irish gangsters and shit up in Boston.
Thieves, that's it. Just some fucking thieves.
Oh, mafia. Man, I'm just some fucking Italian
That's
mafia.
it.
But then they show us and the light that we get, and you can't be mad at it. It's they shit.
They shit, yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you don't own nothing, you can't get mad when
going
they
back
put
to
about.
your point.
That's why I keep saying it, man. You gotta think about all these people that's quote unquote got all this money and celebrities. Ask yourself, why haven't nobody just put their money together? Because they more worried about black banks, right? Why they're not black banks? Because at the end of the day, somebody's like, their perception is, oh man, this motherfucker gonna steal the money. Oh man, if we put the money in there now, he got all the money.
Well, I'll be real. I don't think it's advertised. Because, and then at the same time, it's up to us to go. Because I'll be real with you, and no bullshit, man. Bullshit to the left, man. I bank with a black bank.
Okay.
All the way in D.C. and shit, Industrial Bank, one of the first on my mama.
I know exactly.
So I got an account there and shit.
Yep. No,
now I can't tell you my fucking card every fucking work.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as I go back to D.C., I'm about to be on their ass hey, come on, man.
Fix
what the
this
fuck?
shit, yeah.
But you got United One, I want to say.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Why?
Broadway Financial.
But why are they not? That's what I'm saying.
But that's on us.
That's a fact.
We supposed to be over here snatching. Hey, bro. We supposed to be in front of Bank of America hey, you bitch ass nigga.
But think about what you're saying. So,
right.
If we know that, and you know that, and you know what I'm saying, and you've been around, imagine the LeBron James. You don't think that's what I'm saying? Why they not?
Because in that contract,
they locked in.
There's some clauses in there, man. Yeah. What you gonna get behind, what you gonna stand for. I mean, in reality, we watched it with Kaepernick, right? Yeah. But in reality, all the nigga did was take a kneel.
That's it. That's all he did.
And when you really think of it, it's kind of fucking stupid. It's man, he became a hero
for taking a knee.
For taking a fucking knee.
Got paid off that.
Well, you can't be. I mean, listen, man, you can't be mad. You can't be mad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at that point in time, it's he said what he said, and if that's what. Yeah. But this the cold part when you watch the movie about him. If you watch that documentary of him and stuff like that, man, where he's growing up and the concept and what he had to go through,
that's what,
and everything,
my kids
that meant something looking at big.
Yeah, it did because that's what I'm saying, and that's. Again, a lot about this demographic over here, too. A lot of them have to go through that. My son goes through that. It's rough.
Man, you know what? It's crazy because it's the fucked up part is it's not even that it's necessarily rough. You know what it is? We're raising great kids.
Yeah.
And the world is raising fucking horrible kids. Yeah. That's the, man, and I swear to God, my son was at one of these fucking jumping plays. Man, motherfucker getting pinned down in the fucking dodgeball. Man.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Man, look, I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I paid $200 a month for you to take jujitsu. But the jujitsu, well, Dad, and I'm sitting back thinking well, am I wrong for making them? And then one of my OGs was like, Nick, slow down. Because these niggas is busters now. And if you teach your son to be and he go, and motherfuckers know that, motherfuckers shoot him just because they scared to take the ass with him. And I had to think about that. You know what I mean? So they're teaching him not to fight, and maybe he could have. But then at the same time, I'm blaming it on his mom, and
you said he's soft, and that's
who want to see their son getting beat up by the slide. Just keep it 100.
And he sitting there just he enjoying that shit. That's what happened with my son. He playing today, and like I said, he was around there with a group of them, And I said, son, like, where I'm from, like, one black dude can't be in a group full of, like, it's just, that shit is a disaster waiting to happen. I said, it'd be vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. He said, well, the guy bumped me. You know, me automatic, man, ain't nobody damn bumped me.
Bumped you? And did it?
And
Come on, man. We know.
Yeah, I know, and I'm trying to explain it. He's like, no. I was like, look, dog, you got me. And I'm getting mad at him like, bruh, listen.
It was an accident.
And that's the way he looked at it.
But it's not, you know what?
That's not in him.
It's, you know what it is though, right? That's the fucked up part to it. It's not even us, right? It's not the fact that it's not even in him, nothing.
Yeah.
He's being have his teachers been predominantly black males?
No.
So he's being programmed.
I know.
Billy didn't mean it.
That's exactly what
Timmy
I said.
didn't mean it.
And I was like, bruh, who said that to you? He said that, didn't he? He was like, well, no. I was like, yeah, he did. Well, but that don't even sound right. You don't even talk like that.
This is as fathers, this was, you know what I'm saying? This is my red light. I had my son, I had my son in one of these good schools, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
I happen to go to the school, because, you know, I'm the only fucking black dad there.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm like, so I'm sitting here, you can see, my son's getting awards and shit, and I'm like, well, where the fuck are the black teachers? Well, where the fuck, fuck the black teacher. Where the fuck is the male teacher?
With the male teachers, yeah.
It ain't no fucking man.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I did?
What?
Got his motherfucking ass up out of there, sent his ass to school in the CD. Went to pay, we found a Catholic school, was in a black community that serviced black. I went, I see black teachers in there and afros and all.
Yeah.
So at the end of it all, it was my job
Exactly. And
to
that's
go
what me
see
and my-
what I needed to in
yeah.
order, because if not, I can't be mad if
It's
I
a
let
fact.
them teach whatever facts or whatever, if he gets programmed the way that because unfortunately, we got to go get it. We got to take care of our fams.
Yep. And it ain't his fault.
It's not.
Yep. And that's what I was telling him, and that me and my wife said it's not his fault. And that's where it's messed up, because we assume taking them out of a structure of what we could think is bad, but it really ain't. It really hurts them in the long run.
It hurts them in the long run, man,
That's a
because
fact.
it becomes an identity crisis.
Yeah. And that's what and I think that's what he struggled a lot with, you know.
I just like what he just seen, because I was just talking to some, like I said, I was over in Spokane.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to some black kids, and they were like, well, they don't really think we're black because we talk. I said, look, let me explain something to you. How you talk is regional.
That's a fact. Yeah. And
I said,
that's
you
why
go to fucking New York.
and that's why I can't stand where they do that.
Ain't
man.
no
Like,
such thing as talking black,
ain't no such
acting white.
fucking thing.
What the fuck? Who in the fuck? So I'm sitting there and explaining that to him. I said, man, I said, you want to hear motherfuckers butcher the fucking English language? Go to Boston.
Yeah.
Go to New York. Go to
New York.
Jersey.
Yeah,
They butcher the
Yep.
fucking English
Yep.
language.
That's a fact.
I said, but it's just regional.
Yeah.
Who you hang around, who you amongst, is, man, you're going to pick up those traits, man.
Yeah. And that's, again, who keep telling them that? Like,
Well, see, the problem, like, man, you know what I'm saying? The programming from the TV to the YouTube to the teachers to what they being taught in school to a kid in high school,
yeah.
which I learned yesterday, they got in a fight, and I guess the first kid hit the kid.
Wow.
Man, got the police involved and everything. The kid's pressing charges.
Oh, yeah, they do that now.
I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck happened? Ain't this a mutual combat statement? It
Yeah.
ain't mutual in motherfucking school, huh?
But the crazy part about it, you know, back in the days, motherfuckers just laugh at you. Nowadays, it's like the parents gotta say, hey, look, they pressing charges. You gotta go to school with this kid in class, and they pressing charges in class. Like, think about it. You were behind a dude, you like, yeah, you better not say nothing to me. Because you know her ass got to go to court.
Look, man, hey, man, shouts out, man, you know what I'm saying, to Craig Smith and the snitch finger.
Right, I like that. I like that.
Just be like, man,
Yeah, right.
because you teaching your kid to 6'9" it out.
Yeah, exactly.
From the fucking beginning, man.
Yeah, that's
man,
that tattletale, that chatty patty shit.
Man, we be sitting here talking, man, look, man, we gonna take us a break and everything, and then when we come back, man, you know, man, we gonna have, man, Mr. Ant Dog, man, Mr. Ant Big O, man, Mr. Ant dropping his knowledge. He gonna tell you about his clothing line, man.
Thank
so,
you,
man, we
you.
gonna be
Sure
right back,
enough.
man.
Already.
Yeah.